Okay, we are live on the StreamYard. We're really happy to be on StreamYard, everybody. Thank you, PLG TV. And we're going to populate our Zoom broadcast on Facebook. We're going to Facebook, and then they're going to say, got it. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today. It's Jeff Eichen going live. Got it, it says. And sorry for the back office stuff. We're not high budget yet, and I've been at it for years, and it's really beautiful to be part of this. Let's see if we can get my lover in here. Kim said that she might show up today, so Zoom 3 and then boom and PW1. Okay, so we got Kim maybe coming in today. So everybody, it's Jeff Eichen here. We've got our Mr. Solo. We've got Crazy Pop Mom up in Canada. So it's kind of an international kind of day, and it's really beautiful to have everybody here today. And who knows how many will show up. But we need to show up. We need the 1 million person march. We need to fulfill Bob Marley's dream, everybody. And before I forget to record, everybody, let's record this.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so we're recording this show, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen here. And as technology flows, just like my hair, is that I was told to free the hair. So I'm not wearing a hat today. A hemp hat. But I'm getting ready to design a hemp hat with our new and improved logo for the concert series that we're getting ready to embark on. And with your help, with everybody's help and everybody's swag and everybody's cachet, I believe that by having a marijuana, cannabis, weed, dank, whatever you want to spank it or call it, it's the same thing. Even hemp, where we can have our hempcrete to build homes with. Nobody should be in jail for a plant. So it's Jeff Eichen here, and I'm in the middle of the Hollywood Squares here, and we're just going to, Rodimus, tell me if this works. Okay, so we did some sound check the other day, and now I've got my little sound goodie on. We've got some hand clapping and everything. We have Eric Boone back from HempFest, and he's in Portugal. He'll be listening or coming on if he desires. But in the meantime, today we're going to celebrate. I'm supposed to have a call from Edwin. I talked to him this morning. You all who are regulars on my show have met Edwin before. Edwin is in Talavega. He's in Talavega, meaning jail, prison. That's in Alabama. I have filled out the forms, and we've kind of fudged them a little bit, like I knew him for 30 years, and that was the reason they denied me to go in to film him. I filmed Jeff Mazansky in 2015. He was in 21-9 for 2 grams on a sting for 3 strikes. So 3 strikes, you're in, everybody. And so F this. So I say 3, 2, 1. 3 is weed. That's my new peace sign. And it's old now, but I coined that. And so it's peace, and then it's peace, and it's F Schedule 1. So instead of decriminalizing marijuana, everybody, and taking it down to 3 or 2 with cocaine, because we're up with heroin right now, let's re-legalize it so we can bring all our prisoners home. So that's my job. My job and my play is to have Edwin call in today from prison and give us a little spirit, because he's comes from a little bit of a spiritual side, and church is what's helping him stay sane in prison and doing some projects with me. And I'm supposed to go down to visit him. Okay, so we haven't got me in yet or anything like that, but we're just very, 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 very close. Last thing about our concert series that we're planning, so keep an eye on WEEDSDAYS and all the usual suspects. It's going to get bigger and bigger as we do our small event and then our larger events to raise the money to get Oakland Coliseum with 42, just like 420,000 NFT tickets, and people in the Coliseum, the Oakland Coliseum, on 420 next year with Snoop and Willie. So we're asking Snoop, we're asking Willie, we're asking the people that are hemp eccentric, and I believe before Miles Davis, they were smoking to play jazz music in the alleys, and it was inspiring, and it was their martini, now it's our turn, and so it's like, you can wear any shirt you want. I'm wearing my solution shirt, and it's medicine, it's paper, it's fiber, it's fuel. And if my dad was here, he would go crazy for hempcrete, because he was all about lightweight concrete and saving the planet with Bucky's gift. Buckminster Fuller said less is more. And in 1933, Bucky had a 7-hour video, my dad told me. And Bucky said, less is more, and we're going to run out of resources on the planet. So stop cutting trees for paper. And if anybody wants to partner with me, I'll make hemp toilet paper tomorrow. Okay, that's $1 billion industry. I want to wipe my butt with fucking hemp paper. No trees. Come on, everybody, get with it, get with it, get with it.
And then it can double as rolling papers.
Oh yeah, there we go. But the biggest news today, besides having our great youngster Solo Breezy on, is that we're going to help the youngsters take on after us, after Bob Marley is gone, after we are gone, after all of our legacies are gone. We're going to have a little time capsule of hemp paraphernalia and superstars like Jack Harrer and Cheech and Chong, and Tommy's been on our show before, everybody. We even had Cheech and Chong one day, and they were just talking like they were at a bar. And so we're all real people, but we want to end prohibition. So with our concert series, everybody, come to us, donate to us, help us get this happening. If Tom Waits, if Ricky Lee Jones, if anybody who smoked to get inspired and they choose to do that, then wake up with a freaking headache and a bladder or a liver that's shot, then come with us. We're gonna work on getting the concert happening. So thank you, Rodimus, for being. Can I use your acronym that you told me before about, instead of grasshopper, you use the W hopper? Remember you said, can I say that?
I was never, my character was grasshopper, so that's what I prefer.
Okay. So we have our familiar Rodimus Parra. He reads the news every week, and I'm going to go straight now before we honor the birthday of Bob Marley. But what the heck? And Kim, by the way, I just called Sherry about 20 minutes ago, and I said I've got Kim on today, and she goes, wait a minute, it was Kim's birthday yesterday and Bob Marley's?
That's right. He was 2 years older than me, but we share the same birthday.
Happy birthday.
So everybody, we're gonna do our intro here. I'm gonna share my screen, and then we'll get right into Kim, and we'll find out how it was to meet frickin' Bob Marley, everybody. So it's a great show today. Happy birthday. And we'll get a quote from Solo. Thank you for showing up, Solo. And here goes the share screen, everybody. Hello, and episode 193. So
we'll be doing the news soon.
And we will do the news early. So I'm going to play from my software today because it didn't upload, and here we go. See if I have any. Hemp Hooray, and we have our little whistle to play with you all. So I'm really excited to be with you this morning. I want to read you something that just came in from my beautiful friend Weldon and Amy Kova from Politico. And this is what's going on in my world this morning. The West Wing Playbook is the name of this blog here. A number of clemency advocates privately met with Joe Biden's new pardon attorney last week, a rare occurrence that left them forthcoming changes to a strained system. Anymore this year, roughly 2,700 nonviolent cannabis offenders are now in federal prison, remains slim. And said Amy Povak, which Amy is a friend and a co-host on my show very often, founder of the Can Do Clemency, who's advocating for more aggressive clemency. There's goodwill towards wanting to be very fair and unbiased. So I've got my hand hoodie on now, and I'm just saying that with regard, Biden will honor his campaign pledge with regard to marijuana cases. And so now I'm just really excited that my beautiful friends, Amy and Weldon, have opened up the dialogue and started to move things forward. No matter if I was there or not, I was there in spirit. You were there. All you people that are breathing to release the prisoners, to end prohibition, and globally to allow everybody to have free weed. Not that you don't have to pay for it, but that the stigma is off and that we can build houses with it and not, and grow it, so we can have new farms and grow that beautiful plant, for medicine, paper, fiber, fuel. And here is our concrete ball and build houses with it. So, yes, that's me in the middle, in the mirror. And remember to keep in tune with us because we are launching our MD Foundation.
I did get younger.
Series coming to you in 2024 and 25. Keep in touch on all the usual places. We will be having a movie, charity fundraiser, and don't forget NOCO 10 is happening and all the usual expos. Come visit us at NOCO 10 or come with us. It'd be great. So today's episode 192, Jeff Eichen, hemp, hooray. So everybody, this is a little slideshow. There's Kim back in the day, and we got Kim on today. Some people know that guy, he used to fall asleep on stage when he was not on marijuana. He was on something worse than that. And Kim will explain some of these photographs along the way. Who's that, Kim?
Oh, that's Jacob Miller. He passed away back in the 70s, but at the time he was as popular as Bob in Jamaica.
Oh wow. Okay, well, and is that Bob's friend? Who is that?
That's Jimi Hendrix. I photographed him when I was 20 years old.
Amazing.
Great shot. That's a great shot.
Amazing.
And that's when I was working with John Carpenter and Deborah Hill on John Carpenter's early films.
Wow.
And that's Robert Palmer.
Oh yeah. My gosh.
Look at Robert. And who is that? Is that Bob?
That's Bob playing soccer in a parking lot in West Hollywood. It should be sharper, but
Hey, it's coming in. There it is.
oh, there we go.
The grain of Ektachrome or Kodachrome or Kodacolor.
That looks like Ektachrome.
It was actually RGB film, which is movie film that was rolled off on the school.
5247 with an 85 filter.
And it's really meant for film projection. It's not really meant for print use, but it was all I could afford.
You get it developed and you get negatives and slides at the same time.
Right.
Well, lo and behold, we're coming back here, everybody, to our let's see if I can get us back up on the stage here. I have
5254,
there we are.
right?
Okay.
54, and then they went to 5247, right? I think so, yeah. I used to shoot that stuff too. That was great stuff. Yeah. Although I have to say, my negative, no, is my negatives? No, my slides really kind of degraded color wise. I hope the negatives didn't do that.
Yeah, no, the negatives are still okay.
Okay, good, because it's not color reversal film. It's it's just the way that they process it. You got a positive, which they would then mount on the slides, but the negative is the original camera film. So yeah. Okay, good. So that's stable.
Slides. So it's really beautiful to have some emojis on always. And like I said, we might get a call from Edwin today. It depends. You know, what the hell? People are still. We said in my cartoon there of me talking. There's 2,700 humans still in jail for marijuana, and I represent mostly the lifers. And if you think about it, everybody, lifers. I mean, for murder, you get 14 years on good behavior, and then you're put away for sacrament for Bob Marley's church weed. And you know, when I was in LA on Pico Boulevard at the Truthberry, yes, that's not the library, but the Truthberry, this guy with dreadlocks to the ground came out and said, "Come on in, Jeffrey." And they had a coconut pipe, okay, and with the big coconut and a half an ounce in the coconut, and they would go like this with the smoke over their head and then bring it back into their lungs. And so they pass it to the little white guy, me, you know, back in the day on Pico. And I would go, you know, they go, "No, man, no, man, you got to make the cloud, man. You got to make the cloud," you know. And this is way after, you know, smoking apples in my garage when I was, you know, 13, 14, 15, whatever. But the idea is that I tried that and I got the big cloud, but I didn't pull it back in. I went, oh, you know. So there's a weed story from Jeff Eichen, Mr. Chronic here today. And I want to welcome the birthday girl, birthday week, Kim Gottlieb. Kim worked with my family in the industry. Rodimus knows a lot about the industry. They were all back in the day in that same time. And so you got a question, Solo? You want to ask a question to Kim about Bob Marley?
Yeah, I guess I'm best. Who are like what we like in person and what we see on TV and media?
Well, he's a very charismatic guy. He was he trusted my husband, who was his publicist in the mid-70s, so they had really good conversations. He didn't mind me photographing him, you know, just being a fly on the wall and documenting everything. He wasn't crazy about posing because he wasn't a poser. But for the cover of High Times magazine, he was all in on that one. And he was very wary of Babylon, and rightly so. But his home was always wide open. There were always people coming and going and kids everywhere, and the smell of food cooking and lots of herb smoke everywhere. And it was like an ongoing party. But when he was rehearsing, he was highly disciplined. They would rehearse for hours and hours. He was a very, very disciplined guy when it came to the music, because it was all about the message of the music. That was the most important thing to him.
Well, when we listen to some of Bob's poetry, you know, the message. I was listening to his music the other day and just reveling in the spirit and the aspect and the connection to that music. Everything's gonna be all right. I mean, what the hell, right? Well, everybody, we're with Kim Gottlieb today, and Rodimus Parra and the rest of the usual suspects. We're going to have a fun day today and get some stories from our peeps here. Rodimus, would you like to say hello to Kim?
I already did, but hi again, Kim, and again, happy birthday. And that's really
Thank
amazing. You know, I didn't realize that your husband was a publicist for him. So they had to be really close and work together. And the fact that Bob trusted your husband with promoting, you know, the name, being his publicist, that's a especially since, you know, Babylon, like you mentioned, the fact that he trusted. What was your husband's first name?
Jeff Walker.
Jeff. Okay, so the fact that he trusted Jeff like that was really a big move on his part, and obviously, Jeff did a really good job too. So
They cast an actor to play my husband in the One Love movie. which was really interesting. I mean, it's not often you go to a movie and you see someone you know being portrayed by an actor, you know.
Right, right. That's
And,
interesting.
And Kim, you did tell us you went to the screening last night. Tell us about the new Bob Marley movie, everybody. We're not going to roll it out here. We're just going to tell you the inside scoop. Tell us about that.
Oh, it's really terrific. It's obviously a work of love by his kids. You know, Ziggy put it together, and it's you feel the love all through it. And the performances are wonderful. The patois is pretty thick, so if you're not used to hearing Jamaican patois, it may take you a while to adjust to understand everything. And the only thing I quibble with is that the spliffs in the movie are a little smaller than I remember them. But it was really.
Did they have any scenes where they portrayed your experience with him or your husband's experience with him?
Well, my husband's experience for sure, because my husband was with him the weekend after he was shot. Jeffrey had gone down there with a film crew on Friday, and the first thing they heard when they landed was that Bob had been shot. And so they went straight to the hospital, and Jeffrey was with him and went with him up to Strawberry Hill, and was with him that whole weekend. And the Rasta elders were all saying, "Don't do the concert. You know, it's not safe." And Jeff was basically the only one saying, "But if you don't do it, then the gunmen have won." And at one point, Bob had said, "Well, if I had a machine gun, I'd do it." And Jeff said, "Your guitar is your machine gun." And they kept that line in the movie, and it provided a good laugh for everyone. But in the end, Bob decided to do the concert, and it became a really important.
And that scene was in the movie you saw last night?
Yeah, it wasn't as complete as when they interviewed Jeffrey and he gave them all of the details, but it's in there, and the lines are in there. So the fellow who says those lines is the guy playing my husband.
So explain Babylon to our audience here. Is that the white man, and they allowed you and your husband to be part of their world? Is that kind of what Babylon was, the white man?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, the white establishment. And so he was justifiably wary of Babylon.
And what was their alliance or allegiance to the plant?
Oh, herb is a gift from God. It's a gift from God. It's a blessing. You know, it's a sacrament. And you know, we smoked with them too. You know, everybody had their own spliffs, and we smoked with Bob. And it's an essential part of Rastafarianism, and it's the healing of the nation.
Rodimus, you had a question for Kim?
Oh, yeah, thanks. I was just wondering now, if you don't mind me asking, is Jeff still with us?
Oh yes, we've been married for 50 years. It'll be 51 in March.
Wow, that's fantastic. Wow. So my question was, did he participate in? Did he do any provide firsthand information to the writers of the script, the shooting
Yes,
script?
they interviewed him at length.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, because he was one of the few people who was there that whole weekend and knew what was going on. So,
Yeah. And as a publicist, he knows how to express things in images and things like that. Well, you do too, but he's got the gift this way, and you've got the gift this way. So
right, we made a good team.
I bet, and you still do apparently. That's fantastic. Congrats.
And what about the family time that you got to spend with them? Your book is so magnificent. We've seen some of the photographs in my intro from your book. They're just relaxed. They're not posed or it's just so beautiful. Tell us about meeting the women, the grandmothers, the whole. What's a barbecue like in Jamaica with Bob Marley?
Well, he always had his cook with him, and you could always smell the food cooking in the house. I mean, the main thing I remember about Jamaica and the food is I remember things like, it grows on trees. Not the ackee, although ackee is one of the things, which is scrambled eggs that grows on trees. But
I want that tree, a scrambled egg tree. A Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it's called. It makes like an eggnog, and it's made Irish moss.
Irish moss, yes.
Irish moss.
It makes
and
everything thick. Yes, yes,
and
yeah.
it packs so many minerals and vitamins. You drink a drink of Irish moss, it keeps you going all day.
Do you have that still in your cupboard? Is that in your alchemy?
No, it's not available here.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Great. And Rodimus, I hear you. I see you getting ready for. Let me bring up Crazy Pop Mom. I'll bet you have a Crazy Pop Mom. Do you have a question for Kim about meeting Bob Marley? What the hell? What a surprise, right?
Right? Yeah, that's just, I don't know. I have lots of questions, but none that really just throw up on my head here. That's just wild. And you and your husband married for 50 years. Kudos. I'm going on 28 this year and I am over the moon. So I can only imagine how proud you feel of that relationship. So Bob Marley's just cool, but I don't really have a question. I'm sorry.
Jeff and I were lucky. I mean, we met over the formation of a music magazine called Music World. And he was the editor and I was the photographer. And that's when our partnership began. And by the end of that 1 year that Music World existed, we were married, we had our first kid. We had been living in a one-room apartment where the ceiling had fallen in the bathroom above us, so you could see the plumbing up above us. And he got a job with United Artists Records, and that led to becoming the head of publicity for Island in the United States, which was his dream job. And
That's awesome.
So he got to work really closely with Bob over about a 3-year period.
And was that Chris Blackwell from?
Yeah, Chris Blackwell started Island Records, and we saw him at the party last night. I wouldn't have recognized him because I remember him the way he was when he was in his 30s and 40s. But he and Jeff got to talk for the first time in over 40 years, which was really lovely.
And I have a hand up from RP.
Yeah, Kim, I was wondering, were you by any chance on the set of Dark Star?
No, my first encounter with John was working on Halloween.
Okay.
Which was the first film I ever worked on that was actually released.
So everybody that's just come in recently to the show today, we're with Kim Gottlieb, and it's the week of Bob Marley's birthday, but lo and behold, Kim has the same birthday as Bob. And did you ever celebrate birthdays together?
No, we didn't do that, but it was funny. I had a gallery show at the Jamaican consulate in New York, and the consul general was a rather conservative Jamaican woman, and I mentioned that I share the same birthday with both Bob Marley and Ronald Reagan, and her reaction was, "Oh, I just loved Ronald Reagan."
Well, that's interesting that we just learned that Ronald Reagan and Bob Marley share a birthday. That's interesting.
Well, everything's going to be all right, everybody. On Weeds Day, it's episode 193. I'm resetting the room here. And it's just really an honor to have somebody who was, my friend of 30, 40 years, Brock, got to go to the Santa Barbara concert, the famous one. Were you there?
Yes. Yeah, it was really great to get to photograph Bob in daylight, because most of the time I was shooting him when he was performing in clubs at night, and that's a challenge for photographers. You're dealing
pushing your Tri-X or T-Max.
Right, pushing the film, dealing with constantly changing stage lights and stuff like that. But to get to photograph him at Santa Barbara during the day was fabulous, because you could see the full range of his dance moves as he was performing, and it was a fabulous concert.
Tell us about that photograph that's on the cover of your book there behind you.
That's in his home in Jamaica. And it was in the doorway of one of the rooms where they were going to create a recording studio in there, but it was kind of just demolished at that particular moment. And he just turned around in the archway and I took this picture. Most of the time it's just a single frame. It's not like with shooting digital where people are shooting off hundreds of frames, and hoping they get something. I always picked each shot very carefully because I couldn't afford the film. And so I had to make every shot count.
Your talent is right here. Right here. All comes down to that.
Right.
The precise moment, right?
Yep, the decisive moment.
Yeah.
The eye and the fingertip. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's really fun to have you on. I'm gonna bring up I'm gonna bring up Eric Boone here to the front here. We'll bring Eric up, and then we'll bring Solo up in a second here. Eric, say hello to none other than Rodimus. Say hey, what's going on, and then meet Kim Gottlieb.
Kim, I just wanted to thank you so much for sharing those narratives. It's always just a really distinct delight to hear stories of lives well lived. So that was a real treat to hear you share that. So thank you very much. That was great.
Oh, thank you. My whole life has been a real treat, so I'm just lucky. I've been very lucky.
Hey,
That was
and
luck is part of it, but you have to have the spirit to go after it as well. So kudos.
and Eric, Mr. Boone, tell us a little bit about your history with the herb, the plant, and the joy that it has that you're representing something where people are in jail for, unbelievably silly and stupid. And tell Kim who you are and what Hempest is all about.
Sure. Well, I mean, I personally have, and pardon me, I've got a little bit of a virus from my 4-year-old that we're sharing. So pardon me if I'm a little plugged up. So yeah, I've got about a 30-year relationship with the plant, and of course, it all started out as just like recreational in college, and my interest grew from there. I guess my first I went to undergrad in the Midwest, so my first sort of run-in with activism was hash bash in Ann Arbor, Michigan. That was always sort of my introduction to the activism side. And yeah, so I've been working exclusively in the industry for like the last 13 years now. And I'm here in Lisbon, Portugal, helping to scale the protestable model of Seattle Hemp Fest, hopefully leveraging, our 3+ years of hard-earned brand equity as our flagship show in Seattle it seemed to have run its course. It's just with the movement and the pandemic really brought down some new restrictions, and insurance and everything just went haywire. So we're looking to greener pastures at this point, and I'm sort of trying to get a head start on hopefully prohibition falling in Europe too. But it's over the course of my activism portion of it growing, it's getting much more into the hempcrete and hemp clothing. The
industrial aspects are coming up, right? I hear you. I feel
exactly,
you.
Yeah, and that's one thing Portugal is actually building some infrastructure for. So it's good to see. You can see the industrial stuff.
Look.
Are those 8,000 kicks?
No, but these are Sanooks, but they're hemp shoes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I had a Parker pair, but yeah, I had a pair just like those.
Yeah, well, didn't I hook you up with the Portugal hemp shoe people?
I met up at I don't know if it was you, but I met up at a show. I've got several pairs of their shoes now. I just got a new pair of their Chuka boots. They're pretty cool.
Well, there's no excuse, everybody or anybody, and so why not smoke them if you got them? And we're with Kim Gottlieb today, the incredible photographer that got to meet birthday week Bob Marley, and her birthday, what the heck, was on the same day as Bob Marley, and our lovely what was Reagan's name, the Bonzo or what? Gonzo, or what was
bedtime for Bonzo?
Bonzo? Oh, yeah.
Time for Bonzo. Hey Jeff, listen, I need to cut out of here at on the hour. So
Okay.
we've got less than 20 minutes to do the news. So what do you think?
We'll get you to do the news, but I'm going to do something first here for a birthday celebration. While we have you, I'm going to bring everybody up on the screen here, and we can do abbreviated news. Solo, give us a hello, Solo, and really quick a quote, because Solo brings us a quote every week, or when he's here.
Okay, so quote seemed good, and never wanted to come back to the studio first. My goal and words to that.
Can't hear you very well, Solo.
You're rugging out there, Solo. Do you have maybe you turn off your video and then you can give us a quote?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Okay, I said continue to be good, because it would always come back to you. So you know how I tell it. My words of wisdom for that.
Did you hear that, Rodimus? Can you repeat that?
No, I didn't.
Okay, do it again and speak slower. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. You're on.
Continue to, and you never know when it's come back to you.
No, it's breaking up there, man.
I'm gonna say that what I heard was be nice to yourself and to others, and always continue to smoke out and don't drive while you're smoking. Okay, that's what I thought he said. Okay, so okay, so I'm going to show one little thing that I did in honor of Bob Marley's birthday and everybody, and then we'll get to the news here. So thank you everybody for showing up today. It's really a fun show today, and I'm going to share my screen. And this, I hope you guys like what I did. If I get QuickTime here we go. So. Okay, at the count of 3, when I go 1, 2, 3, we're gonna start singing. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, pirates, yes, they ride, so light to the merchant ships. Mishap they took I from the bottomless pit. But my hand remains strong by the hand of the Almighty. We forward this generation triumphantly. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? For I have redemption songs, redemption songs. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None of ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Ooh, it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Yeah. redemption song. Redemption song.
Ben Cruz, 2016.
None but ourselves can free our minds. Oh, sorry. You were right on, dude. I had your back.
Say hi to the camera. Say hi to the camera. Say hi to the camera.
So everybody, that was a redemption film I made in 2016. We went to Jamaica to Bob Marley's ranch and had food there, and
How are you going to redeem that, Jeff?
I just redeemed that. So that's clemency for sure, everybody. Babylon in its most jungle-like form. And remember, everybody, plant medicine can set you free and give you the next door. And you can say hello to your loved ones on the other side by doing plant medicine. But I'm not recommending that you go out and smoke or you go out and joke or you do this and that. I'm just saying that nobody deserves to be in jail for a plant. And thank you, Solo Breezy, for your wonderful words. Thank you, Crazy Pop Mom, for your wonderful.
And Solo put his words of wisdom in the chat so that we actually.
Solo, can you type them into the chat? That'd be cool. And then,
Good idea.
yeah.
Thank you, Kim.
that's a great idea. So everybody, we're with Kim Gottlieb today, and Kim, give us one another right before the news here, another story about being with Bob. You told us about breaking bread with Bob. Tell us about let's see, what question do I have of you with Bob? Let's see.
Oh, well, we brought our son with us when I did the High Times cover.
Oh, tell me more about that. Yeah.
Our son was not quite 3 years old, and he considered himself a Rasta, and he knew every cut on every reggae album that had ever been released in the United States. And Marley got a huge kick out of him. He really enjoyed his presence at the session. And there's a picture in my book of Bob sitting on the floor with a pile of herb on the table, and my son is standing in his little yellow Rasta cap at the end of the table, and Bob is laughing, looking at him. And my son is now 50, and he has that on his wall.
Wow. I mean, to grow.
I love that.
Yeah, to grow up as a kid and your mom and dad took you to see Bob Marley when you were a kid. I mean, come on. That's fantastic. I see some photos coming out here from
I don't know
the.
whether you'll be able to see them, but we'll give it a try.
Right there. Oh, we saw it for a second. There. Hold it. Wait. Go back. Right. No, come up. Right there. Stop. Okay, back a little bit. There. Perfect. With the yellow hat, that's your son. He was 3.
Mhm.
And Bob is looking at him with just pure heart. Everybody, get ready for some more pure heart. The planet's in a sad shape right now, and that follow the plant. Like Tommy Chong said, this could be the best plant ever. Whoa, there's a nice Babylon photo with the looks like dirtweed.
Well, weed back then wasn't anywhere near as good as it is now. But that was the only time he really enjoyed posing, because he knew it was for High Times magazine.
Kim, where can people find your book if they want to get a copy?
Well, you can order it from any bookstore, or you can order it through Amazon. I prefer the bookstore route. I prefer the bookstore route simply because I like to support bookstores. But you can also get it at a discount.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Jeffrey. This is Astia with our storefront. Hi.
Hang on just a minute. Hang on, everybody. Ostia, can you call me back in a half an hour?
Can I call you back in 1 hour?
Yes. Bye-bye. Thank you. So that was Siberia. I'm building a new website, and that was my people that are doing my art website. And I asked Astia where she was. I thought it was Edwin calling in from prison, so that's why I'm live with the phone. Everybody, it's not my poor etiquette. I thought it was Edwin, but that was Astia. So I'm navigating a new storefront, and it's the new latest and greatest, and they're going to help me with social media. But so once and for all, so I can join the people to share my own photography. Where are your photographs, and where can people buy your book?
Well, you can see a sampling of my career at lenswoman.com.
Lenswoman.com, everybody. Okay, great.
And you can order the book from any bookstore or through Amazon or through Barnes & Noble. It's available anywhere.
And what would they type in to find the book? What's the name of the book?
It's called Bob Marley and the Golden Age of Reggae.
And the Golden Age of Reggae. Okay. And tell us one other story about somebody like Bunny Wailer or Peter Tosh.
Oh, I have the greatest stories for Bunny Wailer because he was an Obeah man, so he has powers. And there are 3 little stories about him in the book, but one of them is that I had heard that a photographer asked if he could photograph him, and he said, "I don't let dead men take my picture." And the guy died within a couple of weeks. So I figured the fact that he allowed me to photograph him meant I was going to be around for a while. And the other story about Bunny is that when he signed his contract with Chris Blackwell, the story is that he insisted that there be a clause in the contract that if Chris Blackwell died, that the contract would be null and void. And Chris said, "Well, why do you want that in the contract?" And Bunny said, "Because then I know I can always get out of my contract." So you don't mess with Bunny.
Bunny, Bunny, I was doing a concert promotion in Los Angeles, a 3-day concert promotion, and I was doing salsa. It was an international festival. It was Brazilian, and it was Cuban and something else. And I had hired one of the halls in LA, and that weekend was the first time that Bunny came to America, and he was playing at the Hollywood Bowl or something like that, and it killed my concert series, my 3-day series. And it would just happen, somebody else dropped out, and then Bunny came. And so I loved Bunny, and I loved the whole deal.
I highly recommend Bunny's album, The Blackheart Man. Blackheart Man is one of the most beautiful albums ever. It's like warm honey. And my son, when he was little, used to listen to it every night when he went to bed because the music was so beautiful. But it has one song that's called Armageddon, Armageddon, which is a description of Armageddon. And even though the music itself is like floating on warm water downstream, the words are a little scary. And so when we went down to Jamaica and we took our son with us and he met Bunny, the first thing he said to Bunny was, "I don't like Armageddon, Armageddon." And Bunny said, "Oh, well, it won't hurt the children." And they got into this whole philosophical discussion of Armageddon, which was just lovely.
Well, it's our job to not have Armageddon, and to do it through music. I think it's a great theme today. And happy birthday, Bob Marley. Put another candle on your birthday cake, Bob Marley and Kim Gottlieb. This is Jeff Eichen with Weeds Day, episode 193. Can you believe it, everybody? So I'm going to read Solo Breezy's quote of the day. And Solo's our youngster here that we're going to help get him some work in the cannabis industry. That's his dream. I'll maybe take him to Oaksterdam in San Francisco. That's a school for weed and for culture and for making CBD and being responsible with the gift that we have, the plant of sacred sacrament from Bob Marley on Bob Marley's birthday week and Kim's birthday week. So here's Solo Breezy's not muffled quote that he said today, that he gave to us. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Walt Disney. Okay, that's all I know is hemp and hooray for Walt and everybody else. Rodimus, come up and do the news for us today. I won't do an intro.
No, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
How many tokes did Walt Disney's work inspire people to enjoy his work with the plant medicine? So,
Right. Did those guys smoke out that did the cartoons, Bugs Bunny and Walt?
we don't know. maybe the artists in the studio were doing some of that. I'm not sure about Walt himself, but he did have himself cryogenically preserved, from what I understand. So he definitely was thinking outside the box and couldn't have done what he did without being a free thinker, for sure. And thank goodness for Walt Disneyland. You know, Disneyland was like, you know, the place for all kids to be able to go and just escape into a world that they knew was made for them. And that was that's the greatest thing.
Maybe Cheech and Chong should have a land, like the Cheech and Chong land, and we have marijuana cars and things like that. Hello, franchise.
So Jeff, I've got to take off, so we're going to defer this news for next week.
Oh, okay. So we had some news anyways earlier about Amy Povah and Weldon going into the White House. They did that last year, and they're still going. They're part of our team, everybody. So keep an eye out for Amy with her Can-Do Clemency. She's from Malibu, California. And I hope that you're doing fine down there with the rains. Tell us a little bit about that. Is that fine? Are you good, Kim?
Oh yeah, we live in a canyon. We live in Laurel Canyon. So when the rain is heavy, we end up being on the banks of a river. Our street becomes a river, which in Southern California is kind of cool because you don't see flowing water very often. But I wouldn't want to be down in the flatlands where the houses were getting destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
We were lucky.
My friends in Sonoma said that the water was coming over the sandbags. Yeah, and is it through? Are you done, or is it still coming?
No, well, it's not happening right at the moment, but there's supposed to be more over the next couple of days. And so we discovered a few more leaks in our roof, but we're okay.
Well,
nice to meet you, Kim. I'm going to need to take off now. Please come back and visit us again. And thank you so much for sharing those great images with us. I'm sure Jeff will have a final thank you, but I need to go. So I just want to personally say thank you to you.
Can we do our three photograph here, everybody? Give us a 3 here. We've got, hang on. We've got 3 here. And we also have, okay, at the count of 3, 1, 2, okay. And we got Canna Nurse coming on. We'll do 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, cool. Thank you, Rodimus and Hemp Hemp Hooray. Have a great evening and welcome, Canna Nurse. And we're at the top of the hour here, everybody. And we're talking with Kim Gottlieb, Solo Breezy, Crazy Pop Mom, Jeff Eichen, and Eric Boone. Welcome back, Eric. It's been a while. And we support you and the Euro segment of things. And Kim, any final words?
One love.
Let's get together and feel our. Did you like my my redemption?
Oh, redemption song. Yeah.
Where we were in the jungles. I printed out before we got on the boat, and we went on a cruise, a Zen cruise, and they did it for several years, and we ended up going to Jamaica that year. But I printed out redemption song, and then I got everybody to go into, and before we had dinner or whatever it was, we did that. And so it was really fun. And yeah, everybody crank the redemption song today and this week, and look out for us. We'll be back next week. We're really blessed to have you, Kim, and we'll have you on again. And we'll finish our legacy series for photographers. We'll get with you to get some more photographers on that series, everybody. And remember, everybody, nobody deserves to be in jail for a plant. And so we love you and we honor you. We honor Bob Marley on his birthday and Kim on her birthday. And thank you for the hearts, Crazy Pop Mom. And Solo Breezy, we honor you, and we were glad that we could read your words, even if we couldn't hear them. Keep coming in, Solo. We support you. And everybody, this is Jeff Eichen. I'm going to do my outro right now. You can stay and play or just take off. But let's see here. Here we go with our share. And, well, that's Redemption Song. We're going to go back to... here we go. Okay, we're at home here. Boom. So here we go.
Hemp
birthday, and we have our little whistle to play with you all. So I'm really excited. Been my pleasure, everybody. Today, episode 193. Just a little bit of the news today, and we're proud to be talking about freeing prisoners. And Bob Marley, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Kim. Thanks for coming. Love having you.
My pleasure.
And there's Jeannie in a bottle. There's Cannabis Jeannie doing her hair. Cautiously optimistic about the forthcoming changes to a strained system. Meaning more this year, roughly 2,700 nonviolent cannabis offenders are now in federal prison, remains slim. And said Amy Pova, which Amy is a friend and a co-host on my show very often, founder of the Can Do Clemency, advocating for more aggressive clemency. There's goodwill towards wanting to be very fair and unbiased. So I've got my hemp hoodie on now, and my hemp hoodie, everybody. That, I got him. Biden will honor his campaign pledge with regard to marijuana cases. And so now I'm just really excited that my beautiful friends, Amy and Weldon, have. That's Sharon from HempFest. Bless you, Sharon, and Godspeed. No matter if I was there or not, I was there in spirit. You were there. All you people that are breathing to release the prisoners, to end prohibition, and globally to allow everybody to have free weed. Not that you don't have to pay for it, but that the stigma is off and that we can build houses with it and not, and grow it, so we can have new farms and grow that beautiful plant, for medicine paper fiber fuel. And here is our hempcrete ball and build houses with it. So yes, that's me in the middle, in the mirror. And remember to keep in tune with us because we are launching our Relief Foundation concert series coming to you in 2024 and 25. Keep in touch on all the usual places. We will be having a movie charity fundraiser, and don't forget NOCO 10 is happening and all the usual expos. Come visit us at NOCO 10 or come with us. It'd be great. So today's episode 192, Jeff Eichen, Hemp Hemp Hooray! Happy birthday, Bob Marley and Miss Kim. That's Kim on. Happy birthday. And Kim, tell us a little bit about meeting Jerry Garcia, or did you?
No, I just photographed. Well, we were guests of the Grateful Dead when I was on a film crew in college, and we photographed the celebration of the summer solstice in Golden Gate Park. We drove in on the Dead's truck.
Oh, whoa, that sounds like a hoot, And Bob Marley is wearing the Hebrew High, which means Adonai, I think, God or spirit.
I means life.
Okay, light. Okay, cool.
And yeah, because the Rastas are the lost tribe of Israel. They're first cousins to the Jews.
Hey, okay, and Haile Selassie, and who's that? That's
Robert Palmer.
Robert Palmer. What was one of his songs?
I'm not a big Robert Palmer fan. I just photographed.
Right.
Addicted to Love.
Which one?
Addicted to Love.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, why not? Robert Palmer, and there's Bob doing soccer, and God bless you, Bob. You are the soundtrack to most of our lives when we have the sacrament. And thank you for joining us today, everybody. I'm going to come out of the slideshow here and come back to us for just a second here. See if I can release the. There we go. I just want to get out of my technology here Here we go. And back to, there we go. That's all of us in the room here. We got Solo and Canoners. Canoners, Natasha, why don't you say hello to Kim Gottlieb? She got to meet Bob Marley. Her and her husband worked with him in the early days. And it's Bob Marley's birthday yesterday. And Kim's birthday was the same day as Bob's. So say hello. This is one of our usual suspects, Kim. And she's a canon nurse. Genie in a bottle.
Hi, Kim. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much.
And don't you normally have like a happy saying, like happy birthday, or?
I did say happy birthday. Happy birthday
Okay.
to you.
I know indica is such a blessing in the evening, and sativa is such a gift in the morning.
Oh, I love the sativa. I am the diva of sativas. I love a sativa, and I love an indica too, but I won't be picky. I'll take a hybrid as well.
The diva of...
Now that I'm a novelist, every once in a while, if I need a little boost to get myself going, a little sativa goes a long way in the writing process.
All right. Very, very much in the creative process for certain. Well, you look like you're 20, so you must have had your 21st birthday.
77.
I'm on no way. Really? That's fantastic. So I always say that buddies look better than bodies. It's got to be the hemp and the cannabis. It's also.
I definitely give it some credit.
I definitely do. I mean, look at me. I'm only in my 30s. I'm 59.
You look fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you. While I've got you on the show, I do want to tell you that I got a message from Crystal Watson, from Malik King, from the Can Do Clemency. You mentioned Amy.
Yes.
Well, she contacted me through Malik King, and I was hoping I'd get a chance to tell you about her. Her name is Crystal Watson. She's currently in a halfway house. She served 1 year. I don't know what her charges were, but I'm presuming that it had to do with cannabis. She's a young girl, and she left me a rather long message, and she's reaching out, and I guess she thought that I could do something, but I'm saying let's pass this on to Amy. She was contacting me through Malik King, whom I've asked multiple times to come on the show, and I just haven't managed to get any of my guests to come actually through at noon. I'll hear from them the hour before, but I can't seem to get them the hour of. And I was having all sorts of technical difficulties today, as we can tell. But so I'd like us to keep Crystal Watson in our thoughts, and maybe we can get in touch with Amy and find out what it is that we can do about that.
I can give you Amy's Facebook, and you can send Crystal to her. And Amy's in Malibu, Kim, and she runs the Can Do Clemency. Amy was in jail for 9 years. And so Amy's a brilliant soul. She went with Weldon to the White House to talk to the new pardon director. So they're stirring it up, on all sides. And my ring as a leader is just telling the news and telling everybody that they're still prisoners in jail for marijuana. When I go to an expo, none of the prisoners are represented. And when I go to a big company that's worth a lot of dough, everybody, and reaping the rewards of the beautiful plant, they go, when I tell them what I do, and I give them my card, I give them my little, hello, I'm doing this, and here's my card. And they go, you mean they're still prisoners in jail for pot? So we got to wake even our own people up on the 420 highway, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen with episode 193. And did I say 192 earlier today? I think it's 193. I know it is. And it's chronic. And I want you to make a tonic tonight, everybody, and snuggle with your partners or with yourself, and be really mindful that it's Bob Marley week and it's Kim Gottlieb week. Thank you for having a great, for taking care of Bob's relaxed photos, not these photos of every musician in a studio, kind of thing. And everybody, thank you for joining us today. It's my pleasure to find the weed centric people, and we're going to bring a concert out here pretty soon, and we'll talk about that, Kim, off air, and what we can do together. And otherwise, Solo, you got one last thing to say for us? Come on, roll us out. See if we got some bandwidth with Solo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cheers to all those on out there. Let's keep eating, keep going. We have a lot of work to do, but we love us. And it's when it's more weed.
Okay, well, we got the laugh and we got love and we've got the most powerful words from you, Solo. We support you so much, and one day soon we'll fly you out for the concert, but that's not for a while. But we do support you so much, and there's still Jim Crow out there. There's a movie there. We got to do the Jim Crow movie, right, Kim? Come on. So Solo, we honor you, and Jeannie, we honor you, and of course, Kim, thank you for showing up, and we'll get an edit out pretty soon. And Hemp Hooray, everybody, it's all I got today. I'm gonna go take a drive to my sweetheart tonight, and is it love that I'm feeling? Redemption, everybody, redemption. Thank you, Kim. 3, 2, 1, everybody. Hemp Hooray. It's Jeff Eichen. WEEDSDAY. Wow. Okay, whoa. Walk away from my show here and forget to say goodbye to StreamYard. So we love you, StreamYard. And it's Jeff Eichen here, and we probably never probably did it right because I didn't have my back office here. So I will post a show later or tomorrow or the next day when I get back from Bainbridge, and we'll throw it back up on to StreamYard. So thanks for hanging with us, everybody. Like I said earlier today, that when we get a budget, we'll have the back office tell us what we can see and what we can't see. So thank you, everybody. Hemp Hooray. And that's all I got for you today.